Sing ciao, everybody. Thought I'd try a live stream from the streets. It is Friday afternoon, and we all like a bit of a juice on a Friday afternoon. Not sure if I'll get any of the village here tonight, but I'll keep an eye on the number of watchers. I'd love somebody to give me a thumbs up if you can actually hear me. I'm punching this straight to the interweb, and got a couple of flies buzzing around me here. And I'd also be interested on the sound situation, because I'm sitting on the street. Coming to you live from the street. It's a great little cafe, this fella. I see we've had a thumbs up, so that's good. It's a great little cafe, this one, because it's relatively new. The owner's that gentleman sitting behind me, and all the young ladies come here to take beauty shots, and so we might actually get to see some action as we go. I'm not planning to live stream for too long, even less if I keep getting eaten. I really just wanted to test how the live stream's going and how the sound is. I've got the obligatory microphone. I might put it up a bit higher for you and see how that goes. And there's a bit of noise cancelling on because we got pipe music coming from over this side, and the street over there. Yeah, don't live stream or you might die. This is punching straight to the interweb from the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So needless to say, in about 30 minutes, I'll have no battery left on my phone. It's been a busy day here today. Mrs. Vietnam Steve's gone to the hospital. She had a operation on her back, and they stapled her up, and it's been a week now, so she's gone to get the staples out. Separate to that, the car got nailed in the typhoon a month ago, and so we've gone to get the car assessed by the insurer. I did point out a few defects to her earlier today, and every panel's got scratches and dents. We were lucky, no broken windows, and the car drives, but other people, lost their windows, etc. So I'll be interested to see what they're going to do with the car, but it's different to the West. It's, he's assessing that now, and then when it's ready to go, she'll take it in for a day and it'll be fixed, and every panel will be fixed. We've got some big grooves up the bonnet. I'm sitting on a corner here. And people don't stop as they go through the corner. So we may yet see a disaster. It's behind the camera, so I will turn it around in a moment. Just dropped a VART today from my last trip to Vin Wonders, and got a couple of those coming out. Good afternoon, Rachel. Good afternoon, Frugal Wanderer. I'm missing your videos, and today's video that I've just dropped was when I went to Hoi An some time ago. So you're going to have that one, and you got another one coming out when I went to Barna Hills, and then in November with young Rachel, who's here on the live stream, I'm going to head off on a massive trip, and you'll get to see that all through November. We should have a video every second day from a tourist attraction. Today we've got the peach tea. It's very nice. The gentleman behind me in the pink shirt there owns this coffee shop and told me that his coffee is different to everybody else's coffee, but very nice. And that's good news, Sean. And but I told him I've never had a coffee at his coffee shop because it's juice time when I come here. It's nice and shady. Last time I came here was with the lady who lives one house to the right of this coffee shop. She has a male dog, and our female dog went to the dog hospital just across the road. And then we had 3 puppies. So we've become friends with that lady. It's good that you're moving, Frugal Wanderer. I'll have to get back to your channel and see where you're going. Yeah, I'm wondering that too. I hope it's Starlat. So in November, when Rachel gets here, and okay, that's a bit of bullshit. Rachel's coming next Tuesday, and we're going all over Vietnam for 10 days. And I'll film those and then get them out in November, obviously. So that'll be happening from next Tuesday onwards. On Tuesday, I'm taking a run to Hanoi to pick Rachel up from the airport. Where are we going? Well, that's a good question. So I've been planning out the lunch and the dinner spots here, but she's only got 3 lunches in Ha Long. We are going to Hanoi for a few days. I'm going to look at the old quarter there around the lake and some really nice things. We are going to Ninh Binh and out by the caves. We are going to Da Nang, Hoi An, etc. again, and we're going down to Ho Chi Minh City. So, tour guide Steve. I thought, Frugal Wanderer, you might get to somewhere more less citified because you're like the country mouse in the city there. I'm surprised this live stream is actually running live because there are difficulties walking around the street. Oh yes, Rachel's telling me when we're in Ha Long here, the first day is a rest day. The second night we're having dinner with the family, and we're also going to the Sun World here, which is a temple. We're going to go and have a look at that. The next day we're driving to China, which is up the road 100 miles. The day after that we're going to a hot spring place. So needless to say, it's a written itinerary that covers multiple pages. So a lot happening. What I'm going to do is turn the camera around. I think I can just push the button here and show you the street for a minute. So the button is pushed. Oh, the camera's gone around. So across the road there is another cafe. That's quite a good one. Their specialty is avocado and coconut. And I would have gone there, but when I got here, the sun was shining in over there. It's the main road coming from left to right, but people come out where this white car's coming out and just don't stop. And the longer you sit here, the more the blood pressure goes up. Now, if there's questions you've got about Vietnam, every restaurant's locked in. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to know. I did ask some questions about the rules of the motorbikes here, so because I thought my brother-in-law would probably ask when he gets here. So the law is you need to have a helmet on both the rider and the passenger, so 2 adults on the motorbike. But sometimes I see like 4 kids as well, and there's no sort of, that's probably illegal, but they still do it. But the law is you should be having a helmet. The guys behind me said I should interview some of these ladies here, and I would, but my wife would kill me. The international driver's license is interesting because I'm Australian, and while the rest of the world has signed some sort of, but here's three guys with no helmet going behind me now. There's a 1968 treaty that lets people get their international driver's licenses and whiz around Vietnam here. Australia's not a signatory to that, so we're not part of the whole international driver's license thing. It's a tough life here in Vietnam. And yeah, exactly, Rachel. We just get a grab everywhere we need to go. So this is a popular pastime where the ladies will come out and take photos. Yesterday there were young girls here with the big round sun shining thing, you know, the reflector for like the movie stars have, and they were getting their shots. There's been a dozen of them down here this afternoon. So you know, it continues. There's usually a beauty model and a camera taker. So I think if it's under 150 cc's, you don't need a 125. You don't need a license, something like that. One of the things we had to cover off on last week was sign something and send it back to the school to say that our kids won't be driving around on electric motorbikes. So the dangerous thing here are these little electric motorbikes that the kids all have, and they drive to and from school. They don't have a license, and they don't know the road rules, and the bikes are silent. So, you know, here's an adult with a helmet and a kid with no helmet on that one that's just going there now. Yeah, they got a toot. So it's interesting what you see. I keep thinking I want an electric push bike, but it wouldn't be an $800 fine here, Passport California. You could buy a motorbike for $800. Xin chào. Yeah, she said, go away, Vietnam, Steve. Electric push bike would be useful, but then when would I ride it? Like, I'd ride it now because it's cool, but I'm not going to ride it when it's too hot. I'm not going to ride it when it's raining. And most days, today I got in the car, it was 39, which went up to 40 as we took off. So it's pretty warm here today. This truck coming down the road's got a big trailer on the back that usually has reinforcing mesh hanging off the back. So I don't think I'm getting an electric bike. And the taxis are so cheap. So, you know, I can just get a grab and go anywhere for 100,000 dong. That's the other side of town. I think I'm spoiling the photos here, but anyway, we'll wait and see what happens. I'm really waiting for a toot from Mrs. Vietnam, Steve. I thought I'd give you a 30-minute burst. I always have trouble getting the orientation the right way, the sound sounding right, and the streaming working. So I'm on the Wi-Fi in the cafe here, but I'm pretty sure if I touch the camera, yeah, this is the phone. That's really hot. So, you know, that chews up your battery pretty fast. I like to travel light, although I have brought the Vart bag with me today. But I don't like to be keeping cameras and phones and another phone to check the chat, etc. So what I see is what you see, and the chat comes up on my screen. Now, if you all chat at once, there's no chance that I can follow that. But I can get, one chat as they come up at a time. I haven't done a live stream for a while because I don't have a lot to talk about, and it's difficult to pick a time. The best time for me is probably 9 in the morning, and of course I don't want to collide with the Frugal Wanderers live streams. Is it that Neo or whatever you were looking at, Sean? Because that sounded really good, and I think Brendan's got one of those as well. One of those drones that follow you really looks good. I'd like to do that. I never would, but the DJI Neo is 200. That's very good. That's very good. I'd probably get one to play with. I have seen, like, if you like, if these girls go out for a beauty shoot and they get someone to come along, there's 10 girls and they get a guy to come along to take all the photos of them, that guy will turn up with a drone and there'll be full-on drone shoots and everything. So I've done that. I've done that a few times, where we go and have an early morning shoot, and I mean early, 6 a.m. to get the light right, and the photographers all geared up with drones and all sorts of things. I saw a really nice car today called a Volkswagen Vilanger, something like that. Vilaganer, like a wagoner, Vilanger. It's a minivan type thing from VW. It looks very nice, and I haven't seen them anywhere in the world. Probably a hybrid. Electric cars are big here in Vietnam. A lot of electric. All the taxis are electric, and the in-law's got an electric car and a year's free charging, so it costs him nothing to drive that for the first year. They don't go far here, so and there's a lot of electric outlets. So every hospital's got a dozen electric outlets you can use. Every shopping centre's got 50 to 80, and the service stations on the highway have 30 to 50. Yeah, I don't see too many cyber trucks here. They do have quite a lot of the car of choice for the manly men in Vietnam is the Ford Ranger. There's a lot of Ford Ranger utility trucks here. The car of choice for the family people are the SUVs. SUVs are everywhere. And a lot of people have small cars because parking's interesting. So while there's no rules out on the road there, you cannot park in front of a shop you're not going into. So there's people they employ out the front to shoo you off if you're trying to park in something that you shouldn't park in front of. So there goes one of those Ford Rangers now. They're all sort of raised and look pretty good. And let's hope we don't see a pickle here. Two people on a motorbike, two people on a motorbike, two people on a motorbike. I'm just calling them out. One person on a motorbike. School kid on an electric bike, two people on a bike. Electric bikes are really dangerous. You don't hear them. Well, that was the kid on the electric bike. He's going the wrong way up the road, and the car tooted him. So there you go. So I've scared everybody off outside here. This is the street I live on. So this is, I think it's 2 lanes one way and 2 lanes the other way. But up where I am, it's 3 lanes one way, 2 lanes the other way. The next main street to the right is the waterfront, probably 3 blocks. So there's 3 blocks of windy little alleyways. That one there's got a couple of kids on board for you. So yesterday, someone was going along here. That one's got 3 kids on, 2 kids on and a bloke. There's 3 kids on that one. So it's pick up from school time, I guess. Put that down, I'm probably making you dizzy. Yesterday was a good day. I forget what I was going to tell you now, but there was something useful to tell you. Lost my train of thought, sorry. Lost my train of thought. Filmed a vart for you this morning with toothpaste running down my chin, so I didn't realise that until I'd finished the vart, so that'll be a laugh and a half for people in the future. So that lady just went straight through the intersection non-stop. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, Brendan, the rules are, well, I think I tried to get common sense out of Mrs. Vietnam Steve yesterday, and I think the rules are, there's a 3-wheel motorbike. That's a good one for me. I think the rules are, there's no real rules, but you're only supposed to have 2 people on a motorbike, I think. They're all supposed to have helmets. For some reason here, the kids are dispensable. They don't have helmets, but the adults have helmets. So I guess the kids can't pay a fine. So, how are the police going to fine a 4-month-old baby without a helmet? 2 school kids on electric bike. Oh, that one's got a baby and a kid on the back holding on like a monkey on the back of the mother. They go too fast for me to get them on the video for you. But anyway, yeah. If you haven't had a chance, have a look at the vart I dropped today. It's a quick run around Vin World at Hoi An. It's only 5 minutes. It's a theme park of theme parks, and it was free. I got my value for my money there. What have we got here? That's got, that's a baby on, it's a baby on the front, then a mother, then a kid, then another mother on the back. So there's sort of 4 of them. And that's why I couldn't figure out what it was. BMW X9, X3, X9, goodness. The tooting is not to say, it's like dodging cars. The tooting is not to say, I just missed you. It's really just to say, I'm here. Could you please just look? Had got the insurance money back from 3 people going to hospital for 3 lots of different things. And it ended up, I think I forked out about $1,700 and I got back $1,500. I don't even know. So it was pretty cheap. A couple of kids had a week in hospital. It's pretty relaxed and calm here, Brendan. And Mrs. Steve had 2 operations. Now, one of the things that wasn't covered on the insurance was interesting. The anaesthetic wasn't covered, so I got the Mrs. Vietnam Steve telling me that the reason I had to pay the $200 was some of the anaesthetic wasn't covered, and I don't know how that works. How do you have an operation without anaesthetic? So, anyway, maybe she took a double dose. Who knows? Last time I was at this cafe, or time before, I was having a juice with a man from Adelaide, Australia. So we've got a bit of a jam up in front of me now. Oof, 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 oof. It's a kid on an orange bike. He's decided not to cross the road. Here comes a white motorbike straight across. She's done it. This kid's got off the bike. He's going to push it across. So look, I'll take the camera off him because I'd hate to see him get skittled on live YouTube. Been really loving the weather here. It's just been sunny all the time and cool. So this is like 20 degrees now, but today was not 20, this is 30 degrees, but today was 40. There's not too many Western people here in this part of Ha Long. So Ha Long has two sides to it: a Hongai side, which is the old town here, and a Bai Chai side, which is the more tourist strip. And there's a massive bridge. Think Golden Gate Bridge, Sydney Harbour Bridge. There's a massive bridge there, and so the two sides don't mix all that much. It's often, sometimes you see a tourist walking around here, but not that many over this side of town. And I like to keep it that way. This one's got a kid on the front, dad, and a little girl in a ballerina dress on the back. So she's just cut off a lady with two kids on hers. So not too many expats here. Kids are happy to be on the live stream. But you do see the odd person walking around. I think they're teaching English mainly, so it's an English type thing. The people sort of come for a week or two and then disappear. And Rachel, you're staying at the Best Western Hotel, which is right on Ha Long Bay. No expense spared. Got a discount there from one of Mrs. Vietnam Steve's male friends who owns an apartment there. So he owns a suite in the hotel and knocked it out to us at mates rates. And after that, you'll be in my apartment, the Dragon Castle, for a couple of nights as well. So, look, it is sitting on the street. One of the things I've said to my sister, Brendan, is you've got, that was close. You've got to be, these people sit in cafes for 2 hours at a time. You know, I came here at 3:30, it's 4:22 now. You've got to be prepared to spend 4 hours a day in a cafe. I spent 2 hours in a cafe this morning. I'm spending 2 hours now. And even if we go out tonight, because it's Friday night, it'll be 2 hours with the girls on Friday night in a cafe. And yeah, it's very relaxing, and I can do it. I had to. Interesting thing was, someone called me at 3 minutes to 4 this morning. I told them I'd call them back at 5, and g'day fella, and I got sidetracked on some work I was doing. I was on a conference. I was online conference I was on this morning. I gave up on that and went for a walk and sat down the cafe mid-morning. Came back and had lunch, went home and edited a couple of YouTubes, and here I am. There's one cafe up the street which I won't name, but I don't recommend it. It's got shocking coffee for my taste, and I've never had a good situation there. Last time I dripped the coffee down the front of my shirt. Don't worry, I didn't change my shirt, but it annoyed me for the rest of the day. And the gentleman that owns this one that was here before said that, yes, that is a traditional coffee shop of Vietnam rather than a modern, you know, this has got a roasting machine inside. And so that's more traditional. And the guy at the next table to me was smoking a cigar when I was there the other day. So I was, you know, smelling cigar smoke and listening to Vietnamese men talking loud Vietnamese language. But they were more entrepreneurs or whatever, having a coffee, and their reason for being there was to have a smoke. And they have the bong on the floor. You can go there, they've got tobacco there, and you can have a toke of that while you're there. This cafe doesn't allow smoking, and the owner said that a few people have said they won't come back because you can't smoke here. So yeah, there you go. It's a magical place. It's not unusual to see a lady walking around the street here in the full ao dai that the Vietnamese ladies wear. And in particular, a lady just got in a car behind the camera there with the non on, which is the Vietnamese conical hat. And I noticed, because it's very hot today, you'll be coming here, Rachel, probably on day one. My wife went out today with the conical hat on to keep the sun off. Ao dai, yes, that's right. To wherever she's gone. She's gone to the hospital and the insurance for the car, but she told me she was coming here, and it's been 30 minutes. Um, so yeah, it's just a very traditional place, which is surprising to me. The interesting thing is one of the daughters is learning about the army and what the Vietnamese army is all about and how it protects the country. So she's been going to school in an army uniform with one of the army hats on. So that's quite nice to see. So here comes a lady. She'll be walking down here. I reckon she's going to have a coffee here. She's just walking down the street looking $1 million. It's Sunday best. I know, she's gone straight past. Had a quick look at Vietnam, Steve, and just kept walking. I'll put you back on this corner because there is a bit of action, and it's you're probably seeing more than what you're seeing with me. I know the camera's a bit sideways, but the table's got a bit of a lean on it. If I put it like that, you're probably okay. But I'm not going to put my... Oh, maybe I can put my spoon underneath. Let's have a... There you are. I've propped you up on a teaspoon. First time for Rachel. I did have some other relatives coming here some time ago. My step brother and his girlfriend and my other step brother were coming here. The first step brother was coming from Chiang Mai with his girlfriend and got to the airport, and his girlfriend had put a different name on the visa than she had on her passport. She'd omitted her middle name, and so she wasn't allowed to board the plane. So they cancelled, and the other half brother, not step brother, was coming from Bangkok and didn't get his visa in time and was not able to get on the plane. Didn't have a visa. So I had two people coming at the same time, two half brothers who had been cycling across Southeast Asia. So they'd cycled from the south of Thailand to the north. They were coming to Vietnam on a reconnaissance, and then they were going to bring their bikes across and cycle around Vietnam, and never got here. I might raise you up a bit so you're just over that tree that's in front of me there. How about that? Rachel's got a visa, excellent, and remains to be seen whether she's got all her names on her passport matching the same as what's on her visa, but we'll see. Vietnam Rachel. Well, Rachel should have a YouTube channel. She's got one, but nothing on it. And she's going to have a happy snap from every icon in Vietnam in the next couple of weeks. And so I reckon there'll be a few more postcards from Rachel going up on that scenario. Today's her last day at work. I got a phone call from her earlier to say I'm on the way home and that's it. I've checked out. And the reason is that she's not coming till Tuesday. She's got to babysit one of the grandchildren. Can you believe that? One of her kids is going to a wedding, so she's got babysitting duties. And then when she leaves Australia, it's 2 in the morning. So she's going to be wrecked by the time she gets here. But you know, you do what you got to do. We were going to have her out with the family the first night, but we just thought we might be pushing our luck, because by the time we get to Ha Long on Tuesday, it'll be 3:30, and we will be going out for dinner and juice with the girls and perhaps a couple of beers. And so you're going to need to have a rest for 2 hours. The interesting thing that Rachel's going to find here in Vietnam is that in Australia we basically eat chickens, beef, pork, lamb and fish. But in Vietnam there's a lot of other things that we seem to eat. And she's going to get a bit of a shock when she gets that kind of stuff. And I went to a restaurant for lunch today and I said to the kids, this would be a good one to take Rachel to. And they said, we need to be taking her to traditional Vietnamese places. Oh, no stopping. Beautiful. That's a big unit, that lady. And so, you know, we're going to do that. But traditional, the kids are lining you up for traditional Vietnamese food. Today's lunch was asparagus soup. How boring's that? A steak with vegetables, which what happens here, the steak gets delivered, it's chopped into small pieces, and we had 4 people, we all share a bit of the steak. And then a bowl of spaghetti as well. And I had a handful of beers. Now the beers were the mid-strength ones. It's called Sophia beer here. And I think they're about 4%. And they're watered down with ice. So by the time you get to drink it when it's cold, it's half water, half beer. So needless to say, they went down well. All right, we're going to put you back down to eye height and flip you around to Vietnam Steve now, because I don't want you to get too bored with traffic. I haven't seen a, I'll put you back over there so you can look up the street. I haven't seen a an accident. Well, I've seen a couple of accidents. Let's say in 6 years, I've seen 6 accidents here in Vietnam. Yeah, we're not eating offal. That's out, Rachel. I don't see many accidents. The accidents I've seen is somebody's come off a motorbike. So they've done a frugal wanderer and they're getting picked up. I did see a cracker of a... Oh, Brendan. I did see a cracker of an accident, or potential accident, the other day. A truck went up the motorbike line, which has a big curb and a fence on the bridge, and a truck's gone up there, but of course it gets progressively narrower. So the truck got stuck in the motorbike lane, and they're going to have to get a crane to get him over the curb and back onto the road. Give way to the right's an interesting thing. This is not a country that has to have rules to navigate every intersection. Think of a country where you have to navigate the intersection under your own steam. Now, what I seem to figure from my wife, and she is the best driver, is whoever's in front has the right of way. So whoever's in front, as you hit the T-junction here, they've got the right of way. There'll be 2 cars. So we picked the kid, dropped the kid off at school, and they are parked. First of all, at the curb, they parked direct into the curb. Then there was 3 lanes of cars parked, dropping kids off at school. And my wife's come up on the 4th lane. As this car starts to go forward, just cut in front of them. Just cuts in front of them. If you're in front, you're in front. So that's how they roll here in Vietnam. Whoever's in front, I think. The other thing is, so that's one rule of Steve. Whoever's in front wins. The other rule is that a truck supersedes a bus. And a bus will tend to have a bigger horn than a car. A car can, you know, trump a motorbike, and a motorbike would trump a cyclist. So you think of that kind of hierarchy, and then you know where you are. So this truck's tooting the horn because he's not stopping at the intersection, and there's a motorbike at the intersection. Believe it or not, he stopped. Some of those trucks have like police sirens. I've been at an intersection where I've heard Nina, 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 Nina. Oh, I'm going to see an emergency vehicle come through the intersection. No, it's just Billy Bloggs with his truck. So, interesting. All right, what I'm going to do is walk up the street while I'm live streaming. Perhaps. I'm just thinking. If I do that, it's going to drop off the Wi-Fi here and it won't connect. It may not connect to the 4G. I need to hit the WC because I've been drinking a lot of peach juice here. We'll give it another 10 minutes and we might wrap it. They sometimes have the traffic police out here. So the traffic police will be out tonight. They'll go and sit near a popular haunt for drinking. And then they'll breathalyse people. I've been through 3 or 4 breathalyzers. And they will get your motorbike, put it in the back of the truck, and you got to walk home. So if you're missing lights on your motorbike, haven't got a helmet on, those kind of things. But you know, this is a city of 10,000 intersections, and they got 1 police truck. So you know, I'm not a gambler, but you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. They have speed radars here. Every time we go over the bridge, we have in the car a thing that tells us where the cameras are, and it says something blah 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 fat moi, and basically telling you that you're going to get a camera shot if you're speeding, and it'll come to you in the post. So that goes off every time I go over the bridge. I don't think Mrs. Vietnam Steve's been chasing me. She was chasing me before I started this live stream and said she was coming straight in. Oh, look at this little cutie here. Oh dear. She's asleep on the back of the motorbike. Oh, that's so cute. Got a good friend who I'll introduce my sister to here. She's got 2 boys. They are really smart. The education system here really gets them going young. One's about 10, one's about 5. The 10-year-old's called Dollar, and the 5-year-old's called Euro. And interestingly, she's having two more kids, twins, and she's thinking of calling them something like London and Paris or something like that. China and Paris, which doesn't make sense because China's a country and Paris is a city. I've tried to get the boy called to be Sydney, because that would be a good name. And China's a good name, I think. So, yeah. This is how you cross the road in Vietnam. There is a crosswalk there, but it doesn't mean anything. And she's done it. I've seen people cross, there's a big roundabout, some big roundabouts here. And I've seen people walking straight through the middle of the roundabout. The roundabout's got 5 lanes of cars going around it with no markings on the road. And I've seen people walking straight through the roundabout. So traffic's an interesting thing. I've already said to Mrs. Vietnam Steve, we need a big taxi when we go to Hanoi to get Rachel, because I'm going to be in the back on the way back, and I'm a larger gentleman. And we want my brother-in-law in the front, and he will have kittens before we leave Vietnam. All right, the peach tea's gone. Can't suck any more life out of that. The girls are taking photos inside still. There's been a bit of there has been recovery from the super typhoon here. I was down at the Flower Park earlier today. There's a couple of lampposts still over in the park, but you know, they cleaned up very, very quickly. I mean, this place here, I think, lost its awnings. It only opened a week before the typhoon and just got smashed with the typhoon. The trees out the front were pushed over and they've stood them back up again. And we're back normal. You do see, you know, some places got nailed. If they had a big superstructure on top that was built out of tin, then it's blown away. And I think it's just climate change is getting the best of us wherever we are. The US has had typhoons. Vietnam's had typhoons. I know there's flooding up in Thailand. It's just incredible. All right, we've got about 15 minutes left. If you've got something that's burning, put it in the chat now and I will get to it. This last 15 minutes is going to be 15 questions in 15 minutes. and then we'll wrap it up. I hadn't planned to do a live stream today, but because it worked so well, and also I managed to actually live stream with the correct orientation, I may well do more of these, because if you follow my Instagram, I'm at a cafe every day. In fact, if you want to know where I really am, as far as I tell you, follow my Instagram, Vietnam Steve on Instagram, because I drop a picture of a great drink every time I have a great drink. There's a couple there from today. There are some traffic lights here. They're very organised. You pull up at the traffic lights, it will be red, and it'll have a number that's counting down, usually about 60 seconds. It counts down. When it gets down to about 3, everybody takes off, and the other side is counted down. It's green, and it's counted down to 0 as well. So not only do you have red and green, but it tells you how long you're going to have to sit there. I did almost see an accident at those traffic lights, where we're stopped at the traffic light. The other side is going, across, all motorbikes, like 20 lanes of motorbikes is going across, and this truck comes up behind. He can't stop where we're stopped. He's hit the skids, gone straight through the intersection and missed everybody. And I don't know how he did it, but he pulled over after that, because clearly his brakes failed. And but lucky not to have killed 40 to 90 motorbike riders. Yeah, no traffic lights here in Ha Long, Brendan. I will go to some historical places in Ho Chi Minh City. First port of call will be the Independence Palace. Second of all, I'll take Rachel to the post office and show her that one. Third of all, we're going up to Landmark 81, up to the top there. Fourth of all, do some walking on Bou Vien Walking Street. Fifth of all, I've got a dumpling restaurant I want to get to. Sixth of all, I'm going to the Pizza 4Ps, and also I'm going to a conference while I'm there, so I'm speaking at a conference. Hanoi, I presume you're talking about, his remains are there. You're talking about Hanoi there, Passport, California. Yes, we'll be going to Ho Chi Minh's, Stephen.code 63. Thank you for that, Brendan. We'll go to Ho Chi Minh's mausoleum. We'll go back at 9 o'clock for the changing of the guards. We're going to try and get to Train Street. We'll be going to Book Street and Music Street. We'll be going to the big cathedral, going everywhere. Oh, I just got a note. I got a new follower on Instagram. I always wondered what it showed up as, because that, my nickname is Vietnam Steve, but my Instagram puts, my full name, and you don't seem to be able to change it. So it says Vietnam Steve, albeit on Facebook, I'm Vietnam Steve. That's it. My first name's Vietnam and my surname's Steve. So interesting. Stephen.code.63. That would be a useful one to get on your Instagram. Xin chào. Hello. Got some new fans here. They're going. Look for Stephen.coates.63. Oh, you search for Vietnam Steve. Well, yes, of course, everybody knows Vietnam Steve. Don't know what's going to happen when the kids move to Australia. I think I'll still be Vietnam Steve, but I might be on sabbatical. Who knows? Maybe I just worry about what happens each day. All right, what's the next question? Come on, we've got 10 minutes to go. 10 more questions can be answered in that time. The Instagram's an interesting thing, because if I post those things that I post on Instagram on Facebook and I make them 3D so they look fantastic, it doesn't automatically post to Instagram. But needless to say, I've got it set so that if I don't post a 3D picture, it'll go through to Instagram. So I try to just get one a day to Instagram. You might see a couple there today, because that's how I roll. And Facebook, I don't usually accept anybody on Facebook. I've tried to keep Facebook to blood relatives. Otherwise, it just gets out of control. So Instagram would be the place to follow me because that's just a random cesspool of people. And YouTube, of course. Plans for tonight. It's Friday night. We did go out for lunch today. Don't know what we're doing tonight. The girls went out last night, so I'll give you that story. So they go out very late at night here. So needless to say, I read a book and went to sleep. My wife took off at 7:30 to go out for dinner with a friend of ours. I didn't know the lady, but her name is Hung. But when I saw her photo, I remembered her. She's the lady that gets very drunk every time we have a function. So I said, yes, I'll come. But then when I heard that it was, she had to go there at 8:30 or something like that, I thought that's a bit late for me. But yeah, she went out for dinner with them at 8:30, got back at 10:30. They go out very late at night. The best shopping centre here on my side is Vincom, which is a small shopping centre. But they are building a large Aeon Mall next to the Dragon Castle where I've got my apartment. So in 2026, we'll have a movie theatre over there and a big Aeon Mall, and they are the jumbotrons of Asia. So yeah. Had a reverse now. I think the lady getting photographed was taking photos before, and the lady taking the photos was strutting her stuff. So I don't know. It's all a bit beyond me. So yeah, last night we ate dinner, and then while I'm eating dinner, they said, "Oh, the girls have asked us out for dinner. Do you want to come?" I said, "Which girls?" I'm a bit selective. Didn't know the lady. I said, "Do I know her?" She showed me a picture. I thought, "Oh yeah, that's the one that gets drunk a lot." I don't think wine's expensive here, but it's not very good. So they do like Australian wine when I come. You can bring 2 bottles, Rachel. So 2 bottles for you, 2 bottles for your husband. If you brought 4 bottles of Church Block or something like that, you could give them out as gifts when you got here. You can get 2 bottles into Vietnam, I think. So 2 bottles each in your suitcase. Although I think you're not bringing suitcases from memory. Rachel's travelling light. She's got her passport in one hand and a fistful of dong in the other. So that's going to... yeah, I think wine's expensive. Can't say I've drunk too much wine here. They do have it. I would probably go the sake or something like that on the table rather than a wine. The other thing they have here is homemade. Oh, she's bringing a suitcase. Good. Well, 2 bottles of wine in each suitcase. What's I going to say? They have a homemade wine here. Do not drink that. That comes in a 20-litre jerry can, and the boys like to drink that when they have a family session. And oh, good. The hospital is finished, and Mrs. Vietnam Steve is coming to me now. Let's hope she's been following me on YouTube and knows that I'm still sitting here live streaming. Don't drink that homemade wine. I didn't like it, and the time I drunk it, because it was at lunchtime, we have an afternoon sleep. I was in a coma. I really disappeared into another world for 3 hours. I couldn't focus. So it's pretty strong. One day I did drink some, what I thought was water in the cupboard. I took a swig of it, and it was some of that homemade wine that the wife had brought home, and she was using it for the little shrine upstairs where they make offerings and things. Goodness me, it was like I just drunk petrol. So, all right, I'll try and get Mrs. Vietnam Steve on the screen here when she turns up. She'll be, if she's leaving the hospital now, she'll be 10 minutes, so you're going to have to hold on. But she may be a bit too shy to go on the screen. I'm not going to message her because that'll stuff up my my streaming here. I should have brought my second phone. I left that back in Australia. Too difficult to carry multiple phones. California passport. When are you coming back to Vietnam? Or where are you? That's probably the question. Got a couple of boys here now. They talking very loud. One of the things you find in Southeast Asia is they talk on the phone without putting it to their ear. They use it like a walkie-talkie. We can get clothes made, Rachel, anywhere. You turn up this morning, they'll have it back tonight, so that's not a problem. There's a tailor in Hoi An which I want to go to. Oh, you're from Saigon. Fantastic. There's a tailor in Hoi An that a mate of mine has put me onto. I never got there last time, so we might go there on the first day and pick up something on the last day when we're there. I wouldn't mind picking up a suit, actually. I've lost so much weight. The greeny coloured cars that go past are all electric taxis. There are VinFast, which is the local brand here, which the quality's coming up. Oh, thank you. Well, let me know where you are in Saigon. I'm coming down there in a week or two. No, don't bring the material. They'll have the material there, Rachel. You'll just pick off what you want. So, okay, these girls are in the same coloured shirt, red shirts. That's a popular thing. So I would not surprise you when we go to Hanoi that I get told that we're taking white pants, white shirt, white hat. We're having a white day, and then all the girls will want to get photos in the white gear, and the Vietnam Steve will follow along. I've got a white hat, but I just never bring it because it's difficult to carry. You know, I'm a travel light, travel right sort of a guy. Really appreciated all of you sticking with me through the live stream, knowing that I've punched out a movie today, and it is difficult, but look, it's worthwhile. And if we actually can catch Mrs. Vietnam Steve on the screen, she might walk up behind me trying to surprise me and then be shocked that she's on the live stream. So you'll get some picture of. Oh, she's just messaged me and says, "Hey," so I think she's listening to me as she's driving here. Oh, she's asking me if I forgot my wife. I better send her a message. If this conks out, thank you all for watching, but I will try and send a message and come back to you. It's up with me. Someone's just watched my my other YouTube, obviously the one I put out today, asking can they see my family. Well, you probably can. Two teenage girls are pretty shy to be on YouTube. Mrs. Vietnam Steve's pretty shy to be on YouTube. I've just told her that I'm live streaming. So this lady's taken the photos, and this lady's doing the modelling. This guy's talking to his stockbroker. That's how you roll at 5 o'clock on a Friday. I've got no plans for dinner. So if you are from Ha Long and you've got some dinner plans, let me know. I'm going to wrap it there. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate all the comments, and now that I've figured out how to make this work, I will do it more often. These two look like twins. I'm not exactly sure. Adios, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. We're getting a lot of screeching here from the gentleman. He's just told someone not to park out the front of the cafe here. All right, that's another live stream from Vietnam Steve. Take care, stay frosty, and I'll see you in the next one.